Have you ever seen something wrong and wanted to say something but felt like no one would listen? Imagine being a quiet farmer, just living your life, when suddenly God calls you to speak out against injustice. That's exactly what happened to a man named Amos. This is a true story from the Bible that shows us why doing what's right still matters today. Amos wasn't a priest or a prophet by profession. He wasn't from a big city. He was a shepherd and a fig farmer from a small town called Tekoa in the southern kingdom of Judah. But one day, God spoke to Amos, and what God had to say was serious. God told Amos to go north to the kingdom of Israel and deliver a message. Now, at the time, Israel was doing pretty well. People were building big houses, holding lavish feasts, and wearing fancy clothes. On the outside, everything looked great. But on the inside, things were broken. The rich were getting richer, but they were cheating the poor. Judges were taking bribes. People were selling others into slavery just for a pair of sandals. There was worship happening in the temples, but it wasn't real. People were singing songs and offering sacrifices, but their hearts were far from God. They ignored the cries of the needy and stepped over the poor in the streets. That's when Amos stood up and spoke God's words. He said, "Let justice roll on like a river, and righteousness like a never-failing stream." He told the people that God was not impressed by their songs or their offerings if their lives weren't marked by fairness and compassion. God wanted justice. He wanted people to treat each other right. He wanted the poor to be protected, not crushed. Amos warned that if the people didn't change, judgment would come. Their wealth wouldn't save them. Their feasts would turn to mourning. The day of the Lord they hoped for wouldn't be a time of joy. It would be a day of darkness. It was a hard message, and most people didn't want to hear it. A priest even told Amos to go back to Judah and stop preaching. But Amos replied, "I was neither a prophet nor the son of a prophet. I was a shepherd. But the Lord took me from tending the flock and said, 'Go, prophesy to my people Israel.'" Amos hadn't chosen this mission. God had sent him. So, what can we learn from Amos? Even if you're just an ordinary person, God can use you to speak the truth. You don't need to be famous, wealthy, or powerful. What matters is your willingness to listen to God and speak up when something's wrong. We also learn that worship isn't just about singing songs. It's about how we live. God cares deeply about how we treat one another, especially the poor, the weak, and those who have no voice. Justice still matters to God. And when we stand up for what's right, when we show love, mercy, and fairness, we reflect the heart of God Himself. So let justice roll on like a river, and righteousness like a never-ending stream. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and comment. See you next time.